Because of this, I obviously believe the Reformed view is also the one that is best supported by the Scriptures. An example of this can be found in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 21, which states that baptism saves you, but not as a removal of dirt from the body, but rather as an appeal to God for a good conscience through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. In this verse, Peter affirms that baptism saves, but he clarifies that it's not the physical act of baptism on its own that saves. Rather, it's the thing that baptism signifies which truly saves a person. In this case, an appeal to God for a good conscience, or otherwise known as faith. Peter actually uses Noah as an example of this point in the verse immediately prior to this. Yes, Noah and his family were spared from the wrath of God by the ark as God washed the sins of the earth away. But the reason why Noah was said to have been saved was because he was already found to have faith in God prior to the flood, which is why God spared him in the first place. The flood, or baptism, was accompanied by Noah's faith, but the flood, or baptism, was not itself literally Noah's faith. While we're on the topic of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 21, I will once again use this opportunity to prove that the Reformed view of baptism is not Nestorian, because the Apostle Peter here does admit that it is not the physical act of washing dirt from our bodies which saves us. What does save us is the spiritual act of a pledge of a good conscience towards God. Yet, despite this, Peter nonetheless still says that the act of baptism saves us. Even though the physical removal of dirt from our bodies is not what saves us, it nonetheless can be described to save us because of the intimate relationship it has with the pledge of a good conscience, that which does save us. Augustine uses this exact same language in letter number 98, when he says that the sacraments, because of the relation they have to the realities in which they resemble, can also bear the names of those spiritual realities. So yes, the sign of baptism, obviously extremely important, but it must also be accompanied with the thing it signifies. And what we as Reformed Christians are saying is that for every single person, it is not necessarily one and the same action. Thus, a person can be baptized with water, but if they don't ultimately possess the Holy Spirit at some point in their life, either before baptism, after baptism, or during baptism, then they won't be saved.